Join me in welcoming a culinary genius, chocolatier extraordinaire, and a true game changer in the world of food. With 2 national awards to his name, he's a powerhouse of talent with 19 years of experience as a trained chef and a food stylist. He is the chosen chef for presidential and prime ministerial visits to India and has served over 75 world leaders, including the likes of Donald Trump, Barack Obama, and Vladimir Putin. He is not just the first chef choice of royalties across the world, but he himself is also globally known as the Prince of Chocolates. He has redefined the art of chocolate making with India's first ever 6 feet tall chocolate mannequin. He's the Guinness World Record holder for the world's largest chocolate mud pie. This makes me hungry. And he's currently the brand ambassador nominated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi for Swachh Bharat Yatra and Eat Right India. With his infectious passion for food and unparalleled culinary skills, he's a force to be reckoned with in the world of gastronomy. It brings me great joy to welcome to Culinary Arts Academy presence I.I.M.U.N's Recipes for Success, the one and only Chef Varun Inamdar. Thank you, Chef, for being so patient and hearing this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very well written, very well researched. Let me tell you. Thank you.
No, but it's commendable. Your, been since we had you on board, since we got a confirmation from you that you're going to be doing this, and been researching, and oh my God. It's your whole story and everything, but I'll jump to the questions because when we do these CDs, we send out an email to all the schools and the students send out questions, so we shortlist them. And to begin with, the first question is, and this is actually quite a valid question. Your skill set that you have is quite mind-boggling, right? You are the only chef in this country who specializes in hot cuisines, pastry, as well as chocolate. But
yes,
and like you called the Prince of Chocolate. Why did you choose that to the other expertise that you already have? Like what is it that 5-year-old child in you who likes chocolates that made you inclined?
No, not at all. I used to hate chocolates as a child. I used to hate them. I used to detest the whole idea of even licking fingers. I used to detest it. So, this is actually very interesting because nobody has asked me a question like this before. Everybody has praised me and kind of created feathers around my head and all of that. But why I chose this is something that nobody has asked me. And I'll tell you why I chose this. So I've always been a hot cuisine chef. Food and cuisines and savories have always been my forte. What happened is when I was growing up the ranks, suddenly one day I was sitting with my boss and we were trying to figure out a few things, about staffing and management and things like that. And I said, Ari, but the pastry chef has resigned. So we need to look for someone. So he looked at me and he said, what do you mean by look for someone? You handle. I said, what's wrong with you? That's not even my core. That's not even a forte. So he said, no problem. It will become a forte. Big deal. I said, this is not even funny. So I took it up. I took it up like that. I took it up as a challenge. 6 months I used to work like a horse with blinders around. And yeah, my basic job was to just pick up the standards, to learn everything, to kind of unlearn what I already knew. So that's how it happened. And there comes a time when, you get a national award and you become the chocolatier of the country. And, I think it's just my patience, my perseverance. Uh, I won't, take my passion so much there because I wasn't passionate to become a chocolatier. It just happened. It's just that I worked later.
You were put in a difficult situation. You were pushed into
I was,
it, and you didn't run away.
I wasn't pushed into it. I had no choice. I was just told, you are the one. Nobody pushed me. It was just, that is the door and you need to open that. It was as simple as that. So, yeah. But I made a career out of it. And like you rightly said, I'm one of the only chefs in the country that specializes in hot cuisines and cold cuisines and patisserie and
exactly, because usually when you see chefs, they're either pastry chefs or hot cuisine.
Sure.
You don't meet people who specialized in hot cuisines and are also called as a Prince of Chocolate.
So,
So,
so Prince of Chocolates is something that I did not choose. It was an appellation given to me by a very reputed international magazine. So after working for 10 years in a space, then I went to Kuwait. I was working with the royal family. After working there for several years, when I came back, I definitely didn't want to go back to hotels. I thought I'll do something of my own, or maybe I'll figure out some way and things like that. And I met a friend through somebody I knew earlier, and she doubled up as my manager. Her name is Avni. And Avni came in her life, and Avni said, "यार तू बहुत मेहनत करता है, तू बहुत अच्छा है, तू मुझे पैसे मत दे, तू मुझे commission दे." So I said, "I'm more than happy. Let's do that together." So we started working together. She cracked all the initial deals that I could have cracked in my lifetime. And she apparently took me to a production house. And she said, "Well, why don't you work on the television?" So I said, "Listen, look at my face. Who's going to offer me a job?" So they said, "नहीं नहीं नहीं यार तू कर लेगा मुझे पता है." So that's how I walked into a production house and I got rejected with style. So I gave like a nice audition. I presented like a whole PowerPoint presentation and I said, we can do this and we can do that. The shows can be like this and like that. And, I went with a whole plan of 2, 3 different shows and only to be shown the door. They said, "Oh, that's the door. Nothing for you here." So, but eventually what happened, I got chucked out because they said, the way you speak English, you have a very thick accent and things like that. And this won't work in the country. So I said, "Listen, I've served the presidents and prime ministers, the kings and the queens. Don't talk about my language. You can talk about anything else, but don't talk about my language. You tell me I don't look good. You tell me I'm not presentable. You tell me I cannot look good on camera. I will buy everything. But don't talk about my cooking skills and my language." So he threw me out with a lot of love. But eventually, what I realized is that they stole all my ideas. Every idea that was
God.
discussed with them, everything was stolen, everything was a sabotage. And yeah, all the ideas that were discussed eventually became their food shows, which I kind of realized that, it's not as simple and easy as it may sound or it may look because yeah, things are very different. So that's how I kind of came into my corner. I kind of created that cocoon around myself. I started planning everything, and slowly the internet happened. Somebody told me, why don't you start working with us and we can work on the internet and we can actually take the world by storm. So I actually told him, "Give me a while, let me think about it, and I'll come back." When I came back, I thought, yeah, that's such a wonderful idea. You don't have your television audience, which is, time to time. Like if you have a 2:30 to 3 o'clock show, then you just have your audience for half an hour, just for 30 minutes. Suddenly, internet gives you access 24/7, and it opens up the whole world for you. And I'm talking about a 10, 11-year-old story, which today may sound like a breeze, like a cakewalk. But imagine talking about this digital language 12 years back. So we
Absolutely.
started doing digital shows. So that's how things just, yeah, happened.
No, that was one of the questions that even we had written, that you were one of the first chefs who used internet,
Yeah.
to get more people acquainted to the food industry. Now you see,
Right.
especially after the pandemic, the amount of home chefs, home cooks, and all of that has become like a whole, food influencer. It's a new term, but you were the first. I mean, doing this a decade back is way, ahead of your time.
Yeah.
Uh,
See, that time YouTube was a very big thing. YouTube, yes, was being watched, but not to the magnanimity that it is being watched today. OTT
exactly.
platforms were just kind of setting in.
Yeah.
People did not even know what OTT meant. I think even 90% wouldn't know today what OTT means.
Yeah.
People say OTT platform and OTT channels. What does OTT mean? Nobody knows. So that's how we were. And when the first deal got cracked, when we started working together on this whole platform, we realized that the first 7, 8 videos did not work for us. We were getting 5 views and 10 views and 15 views and 2 digits. Suddenly, when we did a recipe called pav bhaji, we realized that in 12 hours we had touched 5 million. That
Oh my God.
time we did not know what a million meant. It just said 1M and we were wondering ये M क्या है? कुछ minus point दे दिए क्या मतलब किसी platform ने?
Hmm.
We were thinking that. And then suddenly when we made a few calls, they said, oh, M means a million. You've just touched a million. So I said, Abhi, 1 million matlab kitna? So, so that is how we were. We
Yeah.
just did not know what it called for. And I remember the channel guys, they sent me a huge hamper. It wouldn't, two people got, it in the house and it was that large. And I called up the channel owner and I said, what is this for? So he said, darling, you don't even realize we have split the internet vertically, literally, horizontally. We have arrived. I said, you may have arrived. I still have a long way. So yeah, we did not know what we were doing. I'll tell you another little incident. So 10, 11 years back, again, OTT platforms were new and we also didn't know the power of OTT platform. We had lots of videos. So somebody approached and they said, why don't you re-edit the videos and send them to us?
Hmm.
So we said, fine, let's do it. So he said, how many videos can you give? So I said, I can give you 100 videos. So he said, हाँ chalo, done deal, finished. Financially, let's work it out. So I calculated and I said, यार एक वीडियो का 1,000 तो मिलना चाहिए ना? So मैंने बोला यार 1 लाख दे दो आप, ठीक है?
Hmm.
So I just randomly told him, I said, see 1 lakh, not lesser than that. It's not going to work out for us. So he said, done deal. So when the final paper came and all of that, it was 1 lakh into 100, which
Oh
meant a
God.
crore. So वो zeros देखे पहले तो हम चकरा गए. We started back calculating units, tens, 100,000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh crore. Yeah, because who was used to so many zeros then? And suddenly we realized, boss, we are talking business. We are talking, monies. We are talking some serious stuff. So that's how it happened. So we did not know the seriousness of the platform. Let me tell you, getting it. We did it because we wanted to do it. We did it because we wanted a global platform and a
Yeah.
global reach. We did not know the numbers. We did not know the algorithms and whatever, big jargons are getting thrown in our faces. We did not know all of that. We just did it because we wanted to do it. So, yeah.
It reminds me of that dialogue from Three Idiots. Like I don't remember it properly, but it was something like "पैसे के पीछे मत भागो" or something like that. And I think that is
Hey, Kaise
exactly what.
Bhushan? No, 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 no. See, all this sounds good when you have big bucks in your money. You
Huh.
need to be a rich philosopher. Let me tell you that. A poor philosopher is not a philosopher. He's just a Gyani Baba sitting under some banyan tree. But you need to be rich to be talking a language like that. So yeah, पैसे की कोई कीमत नहीं होती और काम करो पैसे आ जाएंगे भाई पैसे ऐसे नहीं आते कोई बैठा नहीं ऊपर झाड़ हिलाने
No,
के
no,
लिए
of
you
course.
have to go
Yeah.
out and you have to earn
Yeah. You
दिमाग लगाना पड़ता
underestimated
है
the value of your
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. पैसे आ जाते होते तो फिर मैं क्यों मेहनत कर रहा हूँ
No, no, no. Makes sense.
मैं भी
And
इंतजार में रहता फिर तो
but talking about this content creation, and which now you are a household name in. If you had to choose between being a chef and a content curator, which one do you enjoy more?
always a chef. I don't even have to think here. Always a chef. Because see, primarily at the core of it, I may be an author, I may be a food stylist, I may be a chef, I may be a chocolatier, I may be whatever. At the core of it, I'm a chef.
It all
Why
starts from the
am I?
kitchen.
Absolutely, because why am I an author? I'm writing cookbooks. I'm not writing some novels. Getting it? If I am styling, I'm only styling a food product. I'm styling an ingredient. I'm styling for a book, or I'm styling for a magazine, or I'm styling for some hoardings and billboards. It's food primarily. So for me, being a chef is important. It's as good as me breathing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I also wanted to touch upon how all of this started. Your humble beginnings. The whole thing that you started as a dishwasher at a restaurant in Bombay,
Yes.
earning less than 10,000 rupees, and from there to now. And I also read your story about Jackie sir. So if you could talk about that, because that was like really nice.
Oh, it's very fun. It's very fun. So a lot of people keep asking me about Dada. Um, so I started as a dishwasher several years back, not because I wanted to or not because I had to, but very clearly because I wanted to make some money. I wanted to buy a book called Narus, and that was like my dream. And that book that time costed 7,000 rupees. So 7,000 rupees going and asking my father 20 years back, he would have possibly kicked me out of the
Even
house.
now, a
So
book
I
for
thought,
7,000 rupees is something.
is huge money. Is
Yeah.
huge money. You know, a 4 digit for a book is huge money. So I started working in this one restaurant. I was 17 that time, and the owner told me, you know, you can't work here. You have to be 18, and there's the minimum age required and things like that. So the day I turned 18, I walked in again with my certificate and I said, listen, I'm 18 today. You have to take me. So he said, listen, there's nothing that we can offer you, but there is something at the dishwash. If you want to, that's what you can do. So I said, you'll pay me. So he said, yeah, we'll pay you. So I said, how much? So he said, 500. So I said, per day. He said, we'll slap you across your face. It is for a month. So I said, okay. So I took up that job. I started working. After 10, 15 days, you know, I realized that that's the best place to be in the kitchen because you can stand in one place and you can look at what's happening all around you in the kitchen. You just set the angle of the brush and the vessel, and then you're looking everywhere what's happening. So I started picking up a lot of recipes even like that. So one day, one of the staff members did not appear on duty. So they were all frantically running around, क्या करे, क्या करे, क्या करे. So I raised my hand. I said, I can make it. So they said, देख भाई complain आई तो तेरे को निकाल देंगे. You have no choice. So I said, I don't mind. I know how to do a good job. So I know I can figure it out. So I went, I cooked. And then somebody told me कि ये Jackie shop के लिए था. Then I froze. So then I was constantly, I was looking out, I was peeking out and trying to figure out, you know, if he liked it, not liked it. He was talking to the steward and he said, किसने बनाया लेके आओ, this, that, I want to speak with this person. So I came out, I was like literally shivering and, you know, he's a tall, huge man. So I stood in front of him and I said, sorry, sir, if something has gone wrong, I'm new to the kitchen, but I hope you liked it. So he said, बहुत अच्छा लगा बेडू, मजा आया. क्या कर रहा है तू? So I said, sir, nothing. I work in, I study in this college, and the evenings I come here because I want to make some petty cash. So he said, क्या करेगा पैसा कमा के? So I said, sir, I want to buy a book. मुझे किताब खरीदनी है. So he said, किताब खरीदने के लिए तू काम कर रहा है? I said, हाँ sir. So he said, कितने की किताब? I said, sir, 7,000 की. He said, लेगा एक दिन लेगा तू जरूर लेगा. And he walked out. He walked out, and just a while back, you know, a while later, this steward comes with an envelope and he says, "ये दादा देके गए तुम्हारे लिए." So I said, okay. I thought maybe he would have put in some 50, 100 rupees tip or something like that. It had 7,000 rupees. So I waited for him. I said, I'm not going to gobble this off. I'm going to keep it. I want to speak with him. So he was quite a regular. So he came one afternoon and I told him, I said, दादा ऐसा ऐसा आपने उस दिन पैसे रखे थे. हाँ तो तू गया नहीं अब तक. So I said, नहीं, but I wanted to see you. You know, I can't take this money. So he said, नहीं 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 तू किताब खरीद. ये मेरा एड्रेस है, ये मेरा नंबर है. तू मेरे को घर पे आओ और मेरे को बुक दिखा. I said, ठीक है, done. So I went, I bought the book and all of that, and then he had given me his address. So I was searching for his house, and then I landed in his house. I met him. I showed him the book. He did not even look at me. He was on some other planet. He said, हो गया ना, चल चल निकल, चल चल, हो गया ना बात, चल निकल. So I was like, okay. So I came out. But you know, the beauty of this man is he kept in touch through the years. I know him for the last 20, 22 years now. He is like my bouncing board. He's like my agony aunt. He's like a father figure. He's like an older brother. He's so many relations put into one for me. And yeah, every little milestone in my life, he is one of the first people to know in advance that दादा ऐसा कुछ कर रहा हूँ, जरा देखो.
So sweet. So
So yeah, that was
sweet.
my association with him, and what a fantastic human being, if I may just
The
wrap it up.
fact that he just didn't give the money, he told you कि घर पे आके दिखा मुझे. You know, that is,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Which is important. Which is important because he could have just given the money and he could have, you know, disappeared for the next 20 years. And one day in my autobiography, I would have said, "Kya re diya tha?" He would have said, "Kya pagal hai, maine kabhi diya kya ye wo." So it's like that. But yeah, he followed up on that. He wanted to
yeah.
ensure that I bought it. So who does it? Who does it? कौन करता है?
Exactly, exactly. And Chef, I also wanted to touch upon the point that you said that, you know, you did not take up the job because you had to. You did it because you wanted to earn that money for yourself. And that is so important, especially for today's generation, you know, a generation where they want instant gratification, especially because of social media. I mean, I know social media is great, it's done a lot for young people, but there is this thing of entitlement that has come कि videos बना के money बनाना है, you know, we want to become rich. And now when you see this generation, I mean, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, you worked so
It
hard and then,
actually
yeah.
See, I'll tell you something. It actually saddens me because there is nothing like instant money making. Instant fame, instant anything is a sham. There cannot be anything instant. Instant is only, you can only blink instant. You can't do anything in an instant. But the beauty of the whole thing is that, you have to be at it. You have to keep doing, do not care about the results. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be ugly, it could be beautiful. But enjoy the journey. Unfortunately, people are only, concentrating on the end mile appreciation. We think, oh, end of it all, whether somebody will like it, not like it, appreciate you, give you a pat on the back. Why are you bothered? Why are you even waiting for a pat on the back? Keep doing. There are so many times when you do so many things that go, without any acknowledgement. But that's fine. Keep doing, be at it. Somebody someday may just turn the leaf and say, oh, you did this also. Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
Didn't know about it. It's like that. And see, with the sense of entitlement that you're talking about, today, even if you have a phone in your hand, you're a creator, is what people start thinking, is what people start believing. It's not like that. You have to be at it. You have to be motivated internally to do it. External factors can keep coming, they can keep changing, right? Internally, you have to be motivated that, oh, I want to do this and I want to do this for myself. I do not want this because the world wants to see it. See, that's one of the reasons also why I never do anything that is in trend. What you do eventually, you wish that it becomes a trend.
Yeah.
What happens is, you follow the trends that happen internationally. Trends are created keeping their sensibilities in mind. Suppose if something is trending in Korea, it's trending because it's got a nostalgia factor, it's got some connect with Korea. Will it trend in India? Will it trend elsewhere? Will it trend in trans Europe? Will it trend across US? Who knows? You never know. Somebody approached me the other day, some brand, and I don't want to get into name bashing, but somebody said, "Sir, आपके साथ काम करने trending video बनाना है, viral video बनाना है." So I said, "What do you mean by viral video? Is there a formula to it? Please tell me. I'll make all my videos viral." There's nothing called let's make a viral video. You make a video and leave it to the audience. If the audience loves it, they'll lap you up. If they don't like you, they'll not lap you up. It's as simple as that.
You don't follow a trend, you do what you want to do and
Absolutely.
hope that.
You make
Yeah,
Absolutely. You make trends. You make trends happen. You don't follow trends because you're just following what others are doing. If a monkey is walking and jumping on a tree, you say, oh, this looks so nice. Let me also climb a tree. That's not your core. Your core could be swimming. Go deep diving.
That's really inspiring. I think that is the highlight. This is going to be our caption when we put up the reel. Don't follow trends, make one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But talking about no, but when we talk about Indian food, it has evolved and changed over the past few years. Most importantly, in an age where there is a rise in chain restaurants and fast food and all of that, how would you say that Indian cuisine has adapted to these changes? Especially when we see there's a shift to the Western food currently, people are looking for burgers and even something like a sushi. Now, first it started, especially in something like Bombay, it started from South Bombay, and then you can see that now it's coming to Bandra and then all of these places. So how do you think Indian cuisine is keeping up, and what do you see is the future for Indian food?
See, let me tell you, Indian cuisine is the future for the world. Sadly, a couple of years back, the industry was following a lot of Western norms, a lot of Western culture, and trying to adapt that to Indian norms. And, they were actually Indianizing those things and trying to ensure that these things are adopted by us. But now, if you see, at the base of it all, we are hardcore Indians, right? That is our past, that is our present, that is our future. You may take a vada pav from the streets of Mumbai and try to glamorize it and make a burger out of it. End of the day, when you shut your eyes and you open it after 30 seconds, you want a vada pav. You will not think of a burger. Then even if you make a charcoal bun and then you put a yellow colored vada inside and you call it like a taxi vada pav, it's not going to work. Everything black and yellow is not a Mumbai Kali Pili taxi, right? But I've seen a lot of these trends also happening. Yeah. But see, at the core of it, we are Indians. We love Indian food. Wherever we go, we are experimental, but we will always come back to a khichdi or a kadhi chawal or a rajma or a chole bhature.
Uh,
We'll always come to our macher jhol. We'll always come back to curd rice. We'll always come to idli sambar. Because at the core of it, we love our dhokla. We love our Indori chaats, you know. So that's the beauty of it all. कितना भी पास्ता, पिज्जा, risotto, burger, कितना भी खाओ. 15 दिन के बाद भी if somebody gives you an Indian thali, you're going to jump at it. So yeah, it's
that's
like that.
true. That's true. That's true. And chef,
दुनिया भर का gelato खा लो. घूम फिर के कुल्फी पे आएंगे.
that's true. You know, even when we go abroad, if it's a longer trip, we do search for Indian food on a foreign land.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like you
A lot of people even carry the tidbits. So yeah, because you cannot leave your roots. You know, तुम कितना भी दुनिया जान कहीं भी घूमो, you would always crave for something that you know is nostalgia driven, something that is yours. अपने अपनापन जो होता है ना, that will always be there. That will always be at the core of it all.
I
So yeah,
remember carrying like a stack of theplas when I was in Japan.
है ना? Happens to the best of us. And there's nothing wrong or right about it. It's just the way we are. And see, even when somebody from the US comes to India, who has opened and checked their bags, वो भी अपना कुछ लेके आते होंगे ना? हमने कहीं कभी किसी के बैग खोल के कभी चेक नहीं किया. So yeah, people should stop checking our bags also.
No. But Chef, you've served so many of these high profile people, from head of nations
Yeah.
and prime ministers, presidents. How is it different from when you serve normal people? Like,
Oh, normal people.
you know, not the VIPs, just the Ps.
Even they are very normal, yeah, let me tell you. They don't have any blue chips on their shoulder. They are very loving, humble people. The only thing is that yes, there is a protocol because they are heads of state, they're running a whole country. It could be an international threat. So yeah, there's a little bit of a protocol that needs to be kind of managed. But food-wise, at the core of it, at the essence of it all, it's all very. Uh, it's just the same like how you and I would eat in our homes. So it's just that yeah, there is somebody who's tasting it before they eat because they just want to be sure that you know there's
Can you share
no
some
hanky-panky.
anecdotes of, you know, one or some story about cooking for them? How's the pressure like?
Oh, the pressure is not so much. I understand there could be pressure on somebody who's never done it and who's done it for the first time, maybe. I've done it so many times and I've done it for over 75 dignitaries. So it's kind of easy for me because I know the kind of sensibilities. I know what could kind of, you know, create like a glitch where at which stage. So for me now, it's more like a muscle memory. Also, what happens, you know, when you serve the same person time and again, you kind of understand their allergies, you know, the requests, you know what their likes and dislikes are. So it's kind of easy. One incident that I should tell you was about Michelle and Barack Obama. So I don't want to get too much into detail. I'll straight cut the story to the food part. So of course we were not allowed to meet and greet and all of that. We were all in hiding and watching and all of that. And Barack looks through where I am and he says, Chef. So I said, yes. He said, so Chef, what's the best thing that you've made today? So there was a piece of chocolate with coffee and things like that. I picked it and straight put it in his mouth. Because I was so excited. I was not expecting that you would one spot me and speak with me and things like that. So I just took that chocolate and put it straight in his mouth, which I was not supposed to do. You're not supposed to do that to anybody for that matter. Forget Barack Obama. So like when somebody asks for a piece of chocolate, you put it on a little saucer or a chip tree and then you say, "Sir, this is what it is. You love it, and you know these flavors and blah blah blah." Finished. That's the end of my job. So yeah, these instances also happen, but he loved it. He loved the fact that somebody could do this to him. So he took this whole thing with a pinch of salt, but he loved the chocolate. Primarily, he loved me as a human being, but he loved the chocolate, I think, a little more. Because he looked at Michelle and he said, hey, you must learn this. What's your name again? So I said, Varun. So he said, oh, you must learn this from Varun. So he said, why don't you come and work with us at the White House? So I told him, I said, sir, no, I'm very happy. I'm very content. And I don't think I'm very happy with what I'm doing. So he said, oh, you not coming to White House is surely America's culinary loss. So I looked at him and I smiled and I didn't know how to react. And I was like, yeah, you think? Wow, I'm so happy you said that. So see, things just happen. You don't have to calibrate and you don't have to, you
Yeah.
know, scratch surfaces.
Hmm.
Some things just happen. Eventually, see, you need to understand. Eventually, all these instances become your life story.
Yeah,
Today, when
yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
telling this to you, you're excited about it. Can you imagine how hard my heart was beating when, I put that chocolate in that
Oh
man's
my
mouth?
God.
It is a hanging sword on your head because you could get knocked out of your job
The
for doing
most
something like this.
powerful man.
The most powerful man on the planet,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
doing this to him. And I was like, oh
Oh
my God.
God.
Now when I think about it, I'm like, oh, okay. So this happened. Now I don't have the guts to do that again. Unless somebody wants to recreate or reconstruct this whole scene, then it's a different story. But otherwise, today I don't have the guts to do that. See, बचपन में ना या जवानी में बहुत चीजें कर लेते हैं हम. आगे जाके ना 10-15 साल बाद होता है कि अच्छा ये किया था हमने. अच्छा. See, because होता है ना, you're very naive, you're very simple,
Yeah.
you're not very calculative, you're as good a human that you feel the whole world is. So
No,
और हमको
absolutely. I
लगता
mean, it's
है
such a fun
हम अच्छे तो
anecdote.
दुनिया, या हमको लगता है हम अच्छे तो दुनिया अच्छी. That's not how it is. The world has its own plans.
So, to all of these thousand students, remember, remember these
Oh yeah.
words. You all are naive right now. But yeah, but with all the wisdom that you now have, what is your message to students of culinary arts today?
See, I think it's a beautiful space. It's a beautiful space to be in. A lot of people say it's a glamorous industry.
Hmm.
You must be part of this glamour world and things like that. But let me add to it. Yes, it's a glamorous world, but we are the ones who create that glamour. Please remember, it's not a glamorous world. There are no diamonds and stars hanging in a banquet venue, right? We are the ones who put it up every night so that the stars can walk in. We are the ones who lay the carpet. We are the ones who feed them. We are the ones who make them look good and pretty. So eventually, we are the creators in a lot of ways. And I say this very humbly, we are the creators of this beautiful, glamorous world, right? I have, in fact, started my own cooking academy in Ahmedabad. It's called Florence. If it wasn't such a beautiful space, why would I do it myself?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
we intend to teach the students. Our idea and intention is to ensure that what we know today, we impart it to the fellows who would be part of the industry later. So that's how we started this whole thing. So Florence, yes, is in Ahmedabad today, and it's our whole blood, sweat that we put into the whole building and the whole premise, and that's how it is. So yeah, be a part of it. It's a beautiful world. You get to travel the world. You get to eat some of the best foods. You get to drink some of the best beverages. You get to hear the best of music. We are literally creators of a performance, of a drama every evening because every event is a learning on its own. If you may have done thousands of banquets, but the first one after 1,000 is always a new one. Every event, it's like a drama, it's like a theater performance. आज किसी एक्टर का throat खराब हो गया. How will he emote? How will he act? How will he throw his dialogue? That's how hotels are. Every day, every second, every minute, it's different. Suddenly, somebody who's so good to you for so many years may suddenly turn and say, "Chef, this is too sour. This is too sweet." How do you react to something like this? Do you say, "No, but I have given you the same"? No, that's rude. You say, "I'm so sorry. Let me correct it for you, man." So, there's a way to put it. It suddenly puts you in perspective. It suddenly teaches you manners. It suddenly disciplines you. It suddenly teaches you etiquettes. And not just table etiquette, etiquettes in general. Getting it? It
Yeah.
teaches you the norms of hygiene and things like, for example, when even the pandemic struck, people said, wash your hands 10 times a day, sanitize your hands. We in hotels do it every 10 minutes. So for us, it is not a new thing. Masks is something that we wear in our kitchen most of the time. Headgears, we wear them most of the time. For us, it was not a new word. You wondering, Acha, दुनिया ऐसे हाथ नहीं धोती क्या? Oh, how dirty. It should. So it's like that.
Yeah.
Getting it. So these are these things that the industry teaches you. Getting it. Suddenly when you walk into a hotel, you see, oh, you should have been addressed better. That's not how you serve water. So it suddenly teaches you the worldly things. When you go for a holiday also, you may see, oh, but why is this flower like that? It could have been better, no? Oh, why is this bed sheet like that? It's not cynical, remember. It's not critical. It's not cynical. It's not negative. It's not pessimistic. But it gives you that vision. Oh, I'd learned this there. I've seen this at the Marriott. Why is the Oberoi not doing that? Or I've seen this at the Taj. Why is this hotel not doing that? Or what if that happens here? Getting it, you suddenly start
Absolutely.
placing the jigsaw puzzle in place. So it gives you perspective, which is very important.
So very well
Moreover, for,
articulated.
for your generation, for
Yeah.
your generation especially, it's very important because what we are lacking today is the perspective. We see everything with a single lens.
Hmm.
We see everything with a single color. We think, oh, the world is nice and pink. Lovely. That's the world to be. No, the different lenses. Someday it could be blue, someday could be green, someday could be purple. Purple has so many shades. It could be mauve, it could be lavender. So, that's the fun and beauty of this industry. Every day is different.
Absolutely. Your answer was almost poetic, if I may
Is
say.
it? Wow.
Yeah. Like
That's my
the
new
whole
job.
industry, showing it from a lens of a stage and
Yeah.
you guys being the performers. I mean, it makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're a magician sometimes. You're a joker sometimes. You're the king sometimes. You're a pauper some days. Every day is different. Every guest, every consumer, every customer is different. And see what happens. You also become a very good actor
Yeah.
because your boss may have hit a nail on your head. But the moment you turn and there's a guest standing in front of you, you're like, hey, hi, how are you? So nice to see you. And you may be crying with it. But yeah, you become such a good actor and you say, oh, so what can I get you? Oh, the usual coffee or something different? Why don't you try something like this? Oh, we've started something like this. Please try it. See if you like it. Oh, it's from me. Don't worry. Eat it. See, I'm sure you'll like it. So, but when you go back, you again look at your boss and say, मेरे को गाली मत देना, take something. But suddenly then you again turn and you again the guest hero. So it's like that. So it changes you, it transforms you.
No, that makes a lot of sense, and it's I think great insight into the world of chefs to all the students
Oh
today.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh no.
but chef,
Right?
we play this rapid fire towards the end of the conversation before we open it up to audiences, where I give you a
Okay.
word and you tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Scary, but yeah. Okay.
this is quite simple. The first word is your favorite cuisine.
Southeast Asian. I don't have to think.
Home.
Sorry, use on that question.
The second word is home. When I say home, ghar.
Home?
Huh.
Ghar, home is everything to me. I think it's anchor. If it's one word, it's anchor.
Chocolate.
I'm just going to spit the water out. Chocolate. One word. Today, uh, everything. I think my world revolves around chocolates.
This fourth one is interesting. It is Mumbai or Delhi.
Mumbai, I don't have to think. Hands down.
Street food.
As in my favorite street food,
Yeah.
I would love kebabs across the world. Wherever I am, anything on the grill, anything on the barbecue. I'm the first one to stand in line, however long it is. Grills, kebabs, barbecue. For me, that's street food.
Your favorite person you've served till date or you've cooked
My
for.
favorite person, oh my God, there are too many. See, the only few people I've not served, I can tell you, is Mr. Raj Kapoor. Uh, and maybe Mrs. Indira Gandhi have not served. I'm talking about this generation.
What a
I was
flex.
born in
What a
2000.
flex you have.
Yeah,
People
I
usually
used to
ask,
work.
who have you served? And now you're like, I've just not served these two people.
Yeah, I've served everybody. Let me tell you, I cross my heart, and I can tell you from Shammi uncle to Shashi uncle to the Kapoors, Bachchans, Khans. I think more than four prime ministers and presidents of this country, more than 75 internationally, the royalty across the globe. So
Give us some gossip. Who's a fussy eater?
I can't. No, 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 don't say it. No fussy eater. I'm the fussiest. The chef is fussy. But we're all sweet people. I think I've served Pope Francis, Angela Merkel, Will Smith, Lady
Wow.
Gaga, Julia Roberts. I think all of them. Okay, I can tell you who I have. I have always wanted to serve and could never get an opportunity. I have written emails. I have written fan mails. I have stayed in the same hotel that this person lived. Uh, I have gate crashed. I have sneaked into the area where she was also there, but no chance. I hope somebody someday just takes me to her. Her name is Celine Dion. It has just not happened. So we were staying in Singapore in a hotel,
Huh.
and a certain area was cordoned off. So I casually asked, I said, why would this area be cordoned off? I thought maybe some protocol visit or something like that. So they said, so this area is cordoned off, very, very shrewd and rude this man was. So I said, I can see that, but for what joy? So he said, Celine Dion was staying with us. So my eyes kind of just, popped up, and I was like, wow. So I figured out, through my sources, which room and where would she be and things like that, kind of a schedule and all of that. I actually slipped in a little handwritten note saying, hey, Celine, this, I won't get into details. It may sound very cheeky and corny, but I actually slipped in a little note and I said, I'm staying in the same hotel. I would love to meet you. And I also had to kind of name drop, I had to say, I've served this one, that one, blah, blue. So, she just kind of
Yeah.
pays the attention to that at least. But no, a very sweet handwritten note came from her team saying, Celine does not wish to meet anybody. So I was like, what nonsense. My wife and I, once we were in Paris and she was again staying in the same hotel. There I tried to figure out, but nothing. We were in New York once, but she was in the same cafe. Did not work out. I sent her some couple of emails, nothing worked out. So now the onus is on all these people who are scrolling and messaging and watching. Ping Celine Dion. I want to
We are going to
serve
tag
her.
her in the comments and we are going to make
Please
sure that
do.
she hears.
Please do. Send a copy of this to her.
No, absolutely. And it is, like I said, all the chefs would be like, serve this, and you're like, these are the only people that are left. So I
Yeah.
mean, that's really inspiring. And
That way, I'm very lucky because yes, you don't have to prove yourself every time.
yeah.
You just have to prove yourself once, and then it just becomes your order. Then people know, Varun, na, perfect, done. We don't have to think further. You're not proving every time. Unfortunately, what we do is, unfortunately, we are in this whole endeavor of proving ourselves with every task that we do, which is where things start toppling, which is what affects you mentally, which is what, kind of zones you out at times and you feel, nahi yaar, what if it does not happen? But why even thinking? Be the positive self you are, just jump into it and nobody's watching. Do as if, like they say, dance as if no one is watching. It's like that. So yeah, don't be so cynical and critical about your own skill sets. You're there, you're good. Don't have to prove. Just go all out and do it. It's for people to judge any which way. You do good, bad, ugly, people will still judge. People will still keep names. Your friends will always be your friends. Some people will anyway backbite. So it's fine. Let them continue with what they do. Don't be bothered. Don't be disturbed, is what I always say.
No. But Chef, the last word before, with your permission, we take a question from the audience would be I am on this platform.
Okay, what do you want me to say about it?
What do you think about it?
No, it's very insightful. I think it's very helpful. See, I hope these platforms were there when we were growing up, because at least you get to hear people, you get to hear some inspiration conversations. Uh, it's truly inspiring. It's truly insightful. Wonderful. I have been a follower of the page. I don't follow it directly, but I keep browsing and I have seen Mr. Tharoor speak and wonderful, wonderful. I hope
No, we are
you guys
grateful
existed
that
when
people
we were
like
growing
you
up.
see merit and who come and speak to young people. And even like Dr. Tharoor, we're not a vote bank. We have people from all the parties come in and speak. And it's really, we are humbled that you
Very
did see
nice.
merit in
Very nice.
it.
Very nice. In fact, on a lot of my videos on YouTube, if you go through the comment section, people say Varun Inamdar is the Shashi Tharoor of the food world.
It is, that's why I said your answer was almost poetic. It was so well articulated.
So yeah, if you now you please go and watch. A lot of these comments they say, he's the Shashi Tharoor of the food world and things like that. So maybe, maybe not. It doesn't only connect with him.
Thank you, Chef. It was such a fun conversation. It was so insightful, but also so much fun. And I'm
Thank you
so
so much.
humbled
God
and
bless
honored
you.
that you took up the time for explaining so many things and being there for us.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
God bless you. And lots of luck and lots of love to all of you across the globe, wherever
Thank
you are
you.
watching us.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you.
Bye.